So does that mean that instead of, I don't want to use the word taking for granted, but should we continue to work at the communication like it is something that is an ongoing training instead of just thinking it's a simple matter of just stringing together words?
It is. It is a skill that needs to be practiced, and it gets easier over time. There's some key things that you can do, like I statements. So instead of you pointing the finger, blaming, I feel this when you do this. So this is very different than you make me mad, because that's not how emotions work. I make myself mad based on what I observe, how my unconscious mind filters that, how that changes my physiology. So even just taking the responsibility of how we feel, like I feel this. When you did that, I got angry. That was on me. The anger's on me. When you didn't do that, I felt so hurt. That hurt is mine. Not you made me, you hurt me. Because most of the times people are very well intended. I mean, yes, there are circumstances where people aren't well and they are more intentionally trying to manipulate and harm people, but the majority of the time people just want to be loved.
I agree. I think we just miss we make it complicated. We make it so complicated. It's sometimes I think if we just took a step back and just asked ourselves, how would I want to be loved?
Yeah.
Answer that question. And then to your point earlier, right? Communication. This is how I want to be loved. And then to your point further, right? I statements. I like it when you do this.
Hmm.
Right. But it seems it's more of a struggle. I remember there's one person that said that they should know. So they're literally sitting down, arms crossed, legs crossed like a child, and saying that you need to guess. And then when the person doesn't get it, it's the other person's fault. And I think sometimes we forget that no one is telepathic.
None of us have it figured out, and it's okay to tell what your needs are. I think that's really crucial what you've just hit on. We want, and there's this weird thing, like we want people to know us so deeply and intimately, and just have that, somehow just have that knowledge when we're not willing to offer it and share it. Like how is that even possible? It just doesn't even make sense, and it is so childish. That's something that someone just hasn't grown up and out of, holding on to that idea of like, oh, when I was a baby, my mom was able to anticipate my needs, and therefore every single other human being in my life should do that too. But maybe the mom didn't even know. Maybe the mom was just guessing. Who, like, we don't know? And so, yeah, the expectation that people know how to treat you, how you like what you prefer, is preposterous. And I think it's wonderful when we teach people how to treat us. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. What an important conversation to have with people when you are starting to become close with them, friends and lovers.
I always wonder what the fear is. Like if I were to tell someone, treat me this way, and they don't do it, I'm no worse off than if I didn't communicate it.
Yes, exactly. You've lost nothing and you've gained clarity that that person isn't the right person for you. There's this beautiful way of thinking about boundaries. I used to always think of them as a wall. Like this is a barrier here. And I had a friend who's a counselor say this so beautifully. She said, a boundary is not a wall. It's not a barrier. It's a meeting place. It's an invitation. I'm willing to go this far. Will you meet me here? Okay, if they are, cool, keep going. If not, move on. You are better off knowing that early on than spending months, years, decades, because this happens, expecting it or wanting it to be different when you didn't even say what you wanted in the first place.